I began my budgeting journey, um, about summer of 2022. My apartment complex was bought out. My rent started going up. It went up 20% the first time, 20% the second time, and 20% the third time. In about a 15, 16-month period, my rent went from $430 to $750 plus a $2.50 payment fee. Since I have to pay online, there's a transaction fee for paying online. So my mind was blown when my rent started going up and I had to actually start budgeting, because I don't bring home enough to get myself above the poverty level. This is why I consider myself low budget. Um, I am disabled. I get disability and I get SSI. I cannot work full time. I tried for a few months to work part time, and even that ended up being way too much for me. Um, so when my and I know what they did was illegal. I just don't have the mental energy to have dealt with it at the time. When I was fired because my arthritis, which is one of the reasons why I get disability, was keeping me from doing my job properly, I decided I cannot worry about getting another job. I will just make what I get work. I do have a couple side hustles that when I need to, I can do and get a few bucks each month. One of them being I'm a second degree black belt and I teach 1 day a week, and then I sit at the front office desk. Is it 2 days or 3 days a week? I think it's 3 days a week, but one of those 3 days is the day that I teach for 45 minutes. When I do those, I can't do anything else. I might be able to run to the grocery store and pick up 2 things, but I can't go grocery shopping. I can't go to the laundromat and do my laundry. I definitely cannot drive all the way across town to Helmart and go shopping there. It's literally, I do one thing each day, and that is it. If it's going to the studio, then that's what it is. If it's going grocery shopping and errand running, then that's what it is. That's all I can do. So when my rent started going up, I started writing down everything I spent money on and getting rid of stuff I did not need, stuff that was not what I consider self-care. For me is things that make my life easier. It's not necessarily, a facial or a manicure or getting my hair done. I consider my self-care making my life easier. So yes, I will spend a little bit extra to get the chopped onions instead of buying an onion and chopping it myself, because holding a knife that long really hurts my hands. It's damp outside. It rained last night. My fingers, the pain in my fingers is at a level 5. But I'm doing what I can here at the house, and I'm in the mood to video, so I'm videoing. Once I weeded everything out that I did not need, I created my budget, and I've been, for the most part, sticking to it. I have gone out to eat with a coupon once this month, which is not in my budget. I do not have enough money to eat out, even at McDonald's, if the one closest to me was open. They tore it down last week and this past week, and they're going to build a new one. So there's not even a McDonald's right now close enough for me to consider going to if I had the spare bucks to go. But I created this in Canva. It is specific for me. It's got my income. It's got my secure credit card that I use to increase my oh my goodness gracious, Jennifer, my financial score, the one that tells companies how financially savvy you are and whether to charge you very low interest rates on stuff or very high interest rates on stuff. And the worst financial situation you're in is when you get hit with, of course, the high stuff. But that's what this one's for. It takes all of my subscriptions and reports them to the credit bureaus as, hey, she's been doing a great job. This is the car one, plus one subscription because it's based in Canada. This card won't take it. My checking account, and then my savings envelopes. Like I said, I created this just for me. This is for June. Well, I did not leave handy my cheat sheet, so give me a second. Let me stick my arm in y'all's face. There's my cheat sheet. Okay, so my first check, my Social Security supplemental income is $365. Side hustle number one varies. This one comes out of it, and this one comes out of it. We split the check. My Social Security disability, and now at this point, I can afford to pay my rent. This side hustle 2 and side hustle 3 varies. Like I said, if I need it, then I go do it. And my health care card, starting in June when my health insurance, I'm changing health insurance and I'm going to get so many good benefits now, comes with I think it's $248 to buy over-the-counter medication and supplies, and healthy food, which is a good thing because I've been craving the little cuties oranges. And my grocery store I go to will peel about 5 of them and put them in a plastic container for $2.50. And while, yes, that's probably a little bit more than what 5 cuties would cost, again, self-care, I don't have to peel it. And then I'll eat that all in one sitting and want more. My rent is $750. The rent fee to pay it online, which is the only way you can pay it, is $249. These two vary based on that check. My car insurance has dropped to, and it's automatically withdrawn from my account, so I don't have to worry about that. I budget $100 for my electric. Now, what it is if it's $53, I will round it up to $75 and pay that, which will then, of course, carry over to the next month, and the next month will be cheaper than I actually used and all that. Because come July, August, I will be using AC. December, January, February, I use the heat, and I do sometimes go over $100. The new company that owns my complex requires renter's insurance to cover their butt. My pain medication is considered a compound, and the pharmacy is not set up to bill insurance for a compound. My yearly Finch app comes out in June, and I got it at a special, so I only pay $10. Car farts, gas, I need to up it from, I usually budget between $60 and $80, and I've been putting $60 in for the last 6 or 7 or 8 months. I need to take it up to $70. Laundry, there's 5 Sundays in June. That's why I wrote times 5. I do $10 for each Sunday. Now, I don't go once a week. Any money left over at the end of the month goes into another savings folder. I can't remember which one I have it for, but there's that. But it does cost me $10 every time I go. My hamper plus basket makes 1 large washer, which is $6, and then I split them into 2 dryers, which are $2 each, so that's $10 right there. Mint Mobile, I use Mint for my phone. I set aside $20 a month, so that in basically 11 months, because it's paid in April, and I don't set aside $20 in April. So for 11 months, $220. Once April comes around, I put that money into the bank, and then I go and pay my bill. This past April this year, it was $202 and some change. I just left the difference between what I put into the bank and what I actually paid into my checking account and used it for something. Birthday, I decided this year I was going to take myself out to dinner. None of my kids live close enough to do that, so I'm going to go. A friend of mine works at a restaurant here that has really good food, and then another friend of mine works at a chain about an hour away. Two friends work at the same chain. One works here in town, one works about an hour away in a different town. I may go to both, do lunch at one and dinner at the other. I don't know, but I've been putting aside $5 a month. My birthday's in September. That's at least $40. I think I've got a little bit extra in there right now. And I figure that's at least one good sit-down restaurant meal, even if it's by myself. I don't care. I'm a loner. I'm good for that. Gift miss. I'm spiritual. I'm not a established religion, but my kids like Christmas, and we do celebrate family with gifts and a fancy dinner at about the time of Christmas and Hanukkah. I was raised Jewish for the first decade of my life. My budget monthly for the bare minimum of what I would like to save up to spend on friends and family is $42.50. My secured credit card number 1. I hate the way this works, but it's working. They pay the bill and then they take the money out of my account. Because I am on disability, because I'm on food stamps. You noticed I don't have food here. I'm on food stamps and my food stamps cover it. My internet is only $9.95. Spotify is $12.03. That is one thing, if need be, I can drop, but it doesn't help in the long run to cover my rent being increased 20% 3 times. My Amazon is also, because I'm a broke bitch, $7.65. Peacock is $6.56. The membership for this card is $8.99. And my cat litter, since I'm only getting it once in June, is $48.29. Now, it's not your clumping litter, which I like, and it gets delivered to my front door, which is great. I live on the 2nd floor in my building. Naughty Knickers, which I rejoined a few months ago. I had it for 5 years. The rent went up. I cut it out. I hate clothes shopping. I seriously hate clothes shopping. So if I can get somebody to pick it out and deliver it to me, then by golly, I will. Again, self-care. I get 3 pair a month for less than $15. I send $15 to this card. The change stays on for the car. Now for because this is my car card. For oil changes, tires, whatever needs to be done. And then I send $15 a month just for the car. So that's 30 cents to the card, and then once this subscription is taken out, all of it's towards the car. This is my toilet paper delivered straight to my door. I set aside $10 a month. I think it ended up being 42 and change because it just went up again. And I get it every 16 weeks, which is roughly 4 months. So that's 40. I figured that's good enough. Sheets is my laundry stuff. I set aside $4 a month. I don't come close to using all of that. I have to keep postponing my next delivery because I don't need it yet. At the time I started this, I had at least one of my kids still at home, and we were obviously going to the laundromat a little bit more often. Speedy is my car. That is this 15 right here. But sometimes, since this is put directly on the card, sometimes I can spare in cash to put in an envelope until I have a significant amount to put into my checking and then transfer to the card. Travel, I like to do at least 5. Travel includes, my older daughter lives in Ohio. She's getting married July 2025. I'm working on saving money to go to that. My youngest son lives in Ohio. He wants to move down here next summer. If I can help him, then I will. My younger daughter lives in North Texas right now. I wouldn't mind being able to visit her once in a blue moon. I can't do an out-of-state trip more than once a year. So I set aside $5 minimum a month for that. Pets, I have 3 cats, and one of them moved into my house 8 years ago next month. One of them moved into my house 6 years ago in July, and one of them moved in 6 years ago November, I think. So they're starting to get up in age. I realized that and realized, oh crap, I need to start saving for them. I think I have $5 set aside. Household is for things like printer paper, printer ink. I don't use it towards cleaning supplies. That just comes straight up out of regular daily, monthly stuff. Emergency, I would love to have a backup just in case. I'm hoping to eventually save enough to get a new camera for myself, so I don't have to keep remembering to get my camera from the studio and carry it back and forth in time for when it's needed. Health, up until when my insurance kicks in, I had no dental and no vision. Once my insurance kicks in, I will have $600 a year for vision, so I don't need to save for that anymore. And I will have $5,000 a year for dental, which is nowhere near as much as I need. I have Sjogren's, and one of my symptoms is excessive dryness. My teeth are in terrible shape because I haven't had dental, and I've had excessive dryness for at least 4 years. I do take a pill for it, and it does help some, but it's still a pain in the rear having these terrible teeth. One of them is so broken, I'm afraid I'm going to slice my tongue. But just in case I need to cover a little bit after the $5,000, I am putting aside some money. And then I realized I don't have a buffer. So if I can put at least $1 a month into that for when, oh crap, I forgot to get cat food and I have no money for it, I can do that. So this is the budget for June. Everything I need on a paper I created myself for free in Canva. Even the cute little icon photo up there was free in Canva. This, when you add up, even if you take out side one and this, it's still, in my opinion, depressing because it is super low budget. I can't save to go visit my daughter and son in Ohio. I can do that in one trip. I've done it before. When my son graduated high school, I went up there for his graduation, and we picked up, my younger daughter went with me, and my younger daughter and I picked up her older sister, and we all went to the graduation with my grandbaby. And I got to see my grandbaby a couple times while I was up there. I would love to be able to go visit the kids in Ohio. And the same year that I visit my younger daughter and her husband out in North Texas, I have family in Oklahoma, which is literally, I think I figured it out. It was less than a 4-hour drive from where my daughter lives. So if I go to Texas, I want to go to Oklahoma. I have a sister I haven't seen in decades that lives in very much East Virginia. And when I go visit her, I want to go down to D.C. and go to the Arlington Cemetery and visit my grandmother. I have lots of family in Florida I'd like to go visit. Ideally, I'd love to visit everybody once a year, minimal. But I don't have the budget to do that. So I do what I can when I can. And if that means I see my daughter this year out in Texas, and next year I see the Ohio kids, and then the year after that I visit my sister in Virginia, then that's the way it's going to be. If I have to see everybody once every 5 years, 6 years, then that's what it is. But this is my low budget. I mean, seriously, these budgeters on YouTube tend to crack me up with their low budget, and they're saving in their savings envelopes close to this amount. I'm like, dude, I wish I had that to save once a month. But yes, any questions, put them in the description, or not in the description. The description's for me to write, for you to read. Put them in the comments, which is for you to write and me to read, and we'll go from there. I may have the energy to reply to you immediately being within 3 or 4 days, or I may just write the question down and do another video with a bunch of questions and go from there. Again, Finch is yearly, and that is an app I got from the Play Store, and it's habit forming, habit building. There we go. Habit building. It's to build habits. For me, it's to build habits. Some people use it for mental wellness. I use it to build habits, even if my habit is change my clothes every day. I do have serious depression, and I have serious chronic pain. There's days where I don't even want to get up out of my bed to go to the bathroom, much less change my clothes or brush my hair or anything like that. So that is my habit building $10 a year app, and I do use it daily now. For a while I wasn't using it daily. I am using it daily now. Sure, there's things I can remove. I can remove Spotify, Amazon, Peacock, and my Naughty Knickers. But then that doesn't add up to even side hustle number 2, or right at. I don't even think it adds up to it, because I mean, we're looking at 15 and 12 and 8 and 7. So, you know, it's not worth deleting all of those for something that's going to be less than my lowest side hustle. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, put them down in a comment, and I will get back to you later. Bye.